Hi, and welcome to episode 8 of CultureWatch Radio. I'm Andrew Smith, and with me is Bill Muhlenberg. This week, we look at the decision on same-sex marriage in Australia, as well as something truly shocking that happened on our very own ABC television network.
Thanks, Andrew. Yes, it's been quite a busy week on the marriage front here in Australia. A lot of things happening politically and in the media and elsewhere. So once again, the battle is on. Those wanting to redefine and destroy marriage are forever busy. It seems they never sleep nor eat. They're always agitating to do their bit. So some of these things are coming to a head, including in Parliament, where a stand was taken, fortunately, by Tony Abbott.
Bill, is this the leadership we've been wanting to see from Prime Minister Abbott?
Well, absolutely. It's time he really did stand strong here. A lot of forces within his own party pushing him to, in this case, have a conscience vote on the issue of homosexual marriage. As we've discussed before, this is simply a ploy by Labour, who themselves will get rid of any conscience vote on this matter in the near future to hopefully win with the numbers based on what's happened overseas recently with the Supreme Court decision. So it's all a political game. Tony Abbott has seen through it, and he's told his party, look, this is a decision. This is official party policy. It has been since before the election. We will stand with our pledge. Therefore, you will all vote with me on affirming marriage as between a man and a woman. So well done, Tony Abbott, to stand strong in the face of so much pressure, not just from some in his own party, but obviously the media and the homosexual activists.
The win we've had means that same-sex marriage is dealt with for the current term, and we also know that the level of public support is not what it's made out to be. So we would therefore win at a referendum. So can we afford to rest easy now?
Well, certainly not. We can never rest when the other side never sleeps, as I say. They are always going to keep pushing this, and even if Bill Shorten's bill will be defeated based on these numbers, that's not the end of the bills. We've had over 15 in the last dozen years. Remember, Warren Entsch of the Liberal Party he's got his cross-party bill, which he would like to offer as well. Now, again, fortunately, Tony Abbott has said he will demote from his ministry those who cross the floor on this. So once again, he's standing strong, but the bills keep coming in hot and heavy. So if there were to be a referendum, yes, I think the majority of Australians are seeing through this. It's not even on the radar. It's not an important issue. And most agree that marriage is between a man and a woman. So while we probably have the numbers here, we can never rest. We can never take things for granted because the battles always continue.
Bill, a truly amazing thing happened on the ABC this week.
Well, yes, miracles still happened, even at the ABC. Quite a shocker, actually. Mind you, in one of my articles where I discuss this, I say I think just the heat is on the ABC. There's been so much obvious and blatant bias and one-sidedness, and so many people are starting to wake up and say, hey, why am I paying for this with my tax dollars if they can't even represent my point of view? So yes, shock horror, there was actually a conservative anti-same-sex marriage person allowed to give her story just recently on one of the Late Line programs. I think even Tony Jones was caught out here with what an amazing story she had. She was raised herself by lesbian parents. So obviously you would think she would be fully in favor of this, but she's strongly against and strongly makes the case. Children have a right to their own mother and father. This whole debate has been about the desires of adults, but what about the well-being of children? So Katie Faust did a great job, and I believe she's going to be on Q&A as well. So she's getting a good run, and I've written her up in some of my recent articles.
Even I was shocked, Bill, even I. Now, you've done some research on what our pro-gay leaders used to believe about marriage. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I spent the afternoon recently going through a lot of statements, a lot of great, actually, statements saying we believe in marriage between a man and a woman. We believe children have a right to a mother and a father. We believe in the importance of marriage. This is not the time to go ahead with homosexual marriage. All kinds of terrific statements, pro-marriage, pro-family. But as you point out, they all happen to be from people who are now major leaders, both here and overseas, who are strongly in favor of homosexual marriage. So I've got a dozen quotes, 6 from here, 6 from America, people like Julia Gillard, Kevin Rudd, people like Obama and Hillary Clinton, all at one time very much on our side. Even Gillard said, I'm very conservative on this issue. So obviously they've all had a change of mind, but it's funny. We who defend traditional marriage, we're known as haters and bigots and so on. You go through the list of names. But hey, we had Clinton, we had Obama, we had Gillard, we had Rudd, and so many others saying exactly the same thing not that long ago. So why weren't they haters then, and why is it okay for them to make these statements, but when we do, we're blasted? So interesting. There's a lot of double standards here, and it's a political game, obviously, when people can so readily change their mind and go with the trendy PC directions.
So Bill, what can go on that causes people like that to change their mind?
Well, as just mentioned, the forces of political correctness can be very strong indeed. They actually believe there might be, votes in this, which is ludicrous. Again, there are not. I mean, teeny minority of the population is homosexual. Of that group, few actually even want marriage. But these politicians are so, blind to the obvious. They think, oh, wow, we have to go with this. This is the wave of the future. It's inevitable. So I'm going to change my direction on this and be seen as progressive and trendy and hip and all that. Politicians should be leading by principle and what's right, not just following some of the trends of some of the minority groups. So it's sad, but it's happening all over the place. Our leaders are not leading, they're following, and they're following very small and vocal minority groups.
Particularly what you've uncovered, what can we do to continue the stand for marriage?
Well, as always, there's plenty. If you're a believer, of course, you pray like mad. Pray more than ever before. But again, we have to keep contacting our politicians, our local members, as well as the Prime Minister. Tony Abbott did receive a huge amount of input from both sides on the recent conscience vote decision. So I think that's a good example. Many people have been praying and fasting, and many people did send a quick email to Tony Abbott. And in this case, we won. So that shows that we have to be active. We have to both pray, but we have to put feet to our prayers. We have to do something as well. So keeping those letters going to the MPs, visiting them, getting on talkback radio, letters to the editor. There's so many things we can do. Simply learning the issues, getting aware of what's happening, and then sharing that with others, social media and so on. Plenty that we can do. It's an ongoing battle, so we can't rest now.
And it's also good to thank people who have taken the stand.
Oh, look, absolutely. Those who did write to Tony Abbott, you need to write to him again. Say thank you. Thank you so much for standing strong and not giving up on this. Write to your local members that you know are standing strong. So absolutely, follow-up is vital. We can't just harangue them and harass them. We do need to give them thanks when they've done the right thing.
As always, more information is available at CultureWatch. Just type it into Google. And we'll see you again next week with another episode of CultureWatch Radio.